Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, April 29th, Wembley Stadium, Wladimir Klitschko, Anthony Joshua. It's going to be a huge one, and it's not going to be 82,000 people at Wembley Stadium like Carl Froch said, but it's going to be probably more than that, 90,000 people at Wembley Stadium. So Carl Froch, I know he's going to be sad about that wherever he's at right now. But on a more serious note, what I wanted to say was this, because this is something that Wladimir Klitschko kind of touched on at the press conference. It's something that I've been thinking about as a boxing fan and someone who loves the heavyweight division, history of it. I believe, to me personally, I follow a lot of sports. I follow basketball, baseball, hockey, a lot of different sports over the course of my life. In my personal opinion, I don't feel like there's any title in all of sports that is more coveted than being the heavyweight champion of the world in boxing. Because of the history of it, guys who have held that title are like the baddest men on the planet, like Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Mike Tyson. So when you're the heavyweight champion of the world, that signifies you being probably the baddest man on earth. You're the biggest and baddest that boxing has to offer. And for a long period of time, when we look at because a lot of people would say in America particularly, because boxing in the UK, boxing in Germany, it's very much alive and well. Boxing in America is more of a niche sport, and a lot of that could be attributed to the decline of the heavyweight division here. But if you look at the 90s, when you had guys like Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield, predominantly top level great American heavyweights who were champions, the creme de la creme of the division. There's a correlation between boxing's popularity and the heavyweight division. It's always been like that in America. So with that being said, Wladimir Klitschko, from the American boxing perspective, kind of gets overlooked because, let's be honest, the Klitschko brothers, not just Vlad, but Vitaly as well, they were, as far as personalities, they were very robotic. They weren't very exciting. In the ring, they did deliver a lot of knockouts, but there were a lot of snooze fests as well. So, it's a mixed bag, but for the most part, American fans, when it comes to Wladimir Klitschko in particular, I don't feel like he gets the credit he deserves because, look, regardless of what you want to say about his jab and grab, boring-ass clinch style, he still knocked out a lot of great fighters still. A lot of guys who were top-level heavyweights. Took a couple that I think of off the top of my head are Chris Bird, Calvin Brock, Kubrat Pulev. There's a ton of guys that Klitschko got out of there. So you got to give him his credit where it's due. But when you look at any great heavyweight, you look at Muhammad Ali, he had, or any great heavyweight, they all had signature fights. Ali had Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier had Ali. Larry Holmes even had Ernie Shavers, as criticized as that era was. Evander Holyfield had Riddick Bowe. Lennox Lewis had, Mike Tyson. Lennox Lewis had Vitaly Klitschko. Lennox Lewis had all kinds of different guys. Joe Lewis had Max Schmeling. The list goes on and on about the heavyweight division. But when we look at Klitschko, because of, I would say, the lack of the era he was in, the lack of talent, just being so much better than everybody, there was really never an opportunity for him to have a signature fight. And now, on the latter stage of his career, with him being older, maybe not as physically dominant as he once was, and now him fighting a young guy like Anthony Joshua, who many pegged to be the future of the sport, in a massive venue like Wembley Stadium, I think for the first time in his entire career, as long as it took, well, I want to say the first time, but one of the only opportunities he's had to truly have a signature fight has arrived for Wladimir Klitschko, and he even touched on that a little bit. And I think, people are going to look at Anthony Joshua as this is coming out party, but do not sleep on Wladimir Klitschko. You don't become a Olympic gold medalist / world champion in boxing by being a ring-eating fighter. You got to really be a talent in the sport to some degree to do what Klitschko has done for the number of years he's done it. And this is his chance, right? A lot of people say, well, Klitschko's boring, Klitschko's robotic, Klitschko didn't fight anybody, Klitschko didn't have a signature fight. This is that chance. This is that chance to truly put a stamp on what's been a great career. And look, I'm gonna say it right now. If he does find a way to beat Anthony Joshua without any robberies, of course, if he knocks him out or outboxes him, then you gotta put Klitschko in the top 10 best heavyweights ever. I would even say Wladimir is the 10th best heavyweight ever, just on what he was able to do to dominate an era, And then if you end his career beating Anthony Joshua, a guy who is viewed by many to be the future of boxing, a top level heavyweight, Olympic gold medalist. These are two Olympic gold medalists fighting each other. Both world champions in boxing. So big time fight for him, and he finally gets his chance. I believe he had a chance in the Fury fight last year, but in a way he kind of didn't, because Fury at the time, from the perspective of many, was looked at as just another opponent. A lot of people didn't think Fury would beat Klitschko. So now more so than ever, with the motivation of losing the Fury fight, people doubting him, the Joshua hype, fighting at Wembley Stadium, there are so many things, so many factors that can make this a signature fight for Wladimir Klitschko. And if he's able to win it, man, it's gonna do wonders for his career, and it might even begin to validate him in the eyes of many as far as how great he truly is. Because Emmanuel Stewart said it himself. I believe there's an interview, you can go find it. This is years ago before he passed away. God rest his soul. Emmanuel Stewart himself, who trained Klitschko, best boxing trainer who ever lived, basically said that I believe he might have ranked he ranked the tops of heavyweights, and he had Klitschko probably like 7 or 8 or something like that. It was like the lower part of it, and that was like 3 or 4 years ago. So I wanted to put Emmanuel put Wladimir now, all the people he's beaten since then. But regardless, it's a chance for a signature fight. It's the opportunity of a lifetime, and it's gonna be interesting to see if Wladimir has enough in the tank to grab this opportunity by the waist and just validate what's been already a great career. I still, whether win or lose, to me, he's a top 15 heavyweight all time. But if he wins it, it cements him as a top 10 heavyweight. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Wladimir Klitschko, with him getting a chance to have that signature fight, how much of a chance do you give him against Joshua? And do you think he can beat Joshua? Leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, or you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.